Hi everybody, welcome back to my table. I am so glad you're here with me. We are going to look at the forecast for December 2023, see what is coming your way and what you can expect. This is going to be the overall general forecast for you. This is not going to get into deep details. If you want the details for each week, we look for those weekly December forecasts that I'm going to be posting every week for the rest of the month. But let's go ahead and begin. We are going to create a sacred container where we welcome in and we invite our higher selves, as well as calling upon Christ consciousness to please join us at the table. We command our sovereignty in this time, dimension, place, and space, and we disinvite and we disallow all beings, energies, and entities of less than Christed consciousness. And now we set our intentions by calling forth in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We welcome to the table now, and we invite in to join us our angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides, guardians of the four corners, Mother of the earth, Father of the sky, and sacred ones. We welcome you all here. We ask you, please be present with us and help us to understand and interpret these messages to the best of our knowledge as we receive them. Thank you. And I'm so glad that you are here with me. If you want to take a quick second, give me a quick thumbs up, or even maybe subscribe to my channel. I mean, what else you got going on? What's going to hurt to do that, right? Let me show you the decks we are going to use this week. We're going to use the Light Seers Tarot and the Wild Wisdom of the Fairy Oracle. As always, if you like this content and would like more, check down below. You can find my website, ToniSummersTarot.com, where you can get private tarot readings, or you can follow me on Instagram at Toni Summers Tarot. All right, so let's go ahead and begin with the Fairy Oracle. And let's see what you can expect this December. All right, angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides, what can we expect? What is coming our way for December 2022? What can we expect for the month of December, please? Angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides. What is headed our way for the month of December? I know I'm a day late, and a dollar short probably. No, I'm never a dollar short. But here we go. Okay, perfect. We have Light the Darkness, Golden Gift, Into the Woods, and Acorn's Invitation. We actually got one more than I meant for us to get. So we got Light the Darkness. It says Ancestors, Ancestral Line, Generational Shift. We have the Golden Gift, Magical Help is on its way. I love that because it kind of feels like that's coming from the ancestors. We have Into the Woods, Stranger in a Strange Land, New Experiences, Feeling Uncertain, and Transition Zones. So it feels like you are starting something new this month, maybe transitioning into something new, maybe at the very beginnings of, a thought about something new. But regardless, you're asking for help, and your ancestors and ancestral line are here to really help you as you navigate this new project. And we have Acorn's Invitation, Touch, Exchange, and Connection. So very much, I love that this says, Into the Woods, and then Acorn's Invitation. And so you're asking for help, going into the woods, looking for help, and asking for the ancestral, or, it could be your guardians, guides, saints, and masters, sacred ones, but regardless, you're having these new experiences. You need some help. You're asking for, otherworldly help, and asking for that connection, that energetic exchange. This is a beautiful month. It also feels like for some of you, you may be starting something new spiritually. You may be looking at a new spiritual path, maybe working with your ancestors, especially around the holidays here. We have Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, and I'm sure a whole bunch more that I'm forgetting, Yule. And I know there's a Muslim holiday, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. But, there's a lot of holidays going on right now. And for those of us who especially have lost loved ones, you may be wanting to reconnect with them and maybe heal that lineage and work on that line. And so that could be what this is. It could be a new beginning, working with your ancestors, having that connection. This is new, Into the Woods, Stranger in a Strange Land, New Experiences, Feeling Uncertain, but asking for that magical help, that magical connection from our generational ancestors. All right, so let's look at the Light Seers Tarot and see what we got. angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides, what can we expect for the month of December 2022? What does the energy look like? What can we expect to come our way? And how can we better support our goals and our highest and best self? Okay, here we go. All right, so our energy coming into the month of December. Thank you. What do we need to keep in mind that is expected to leave by the end of the month? Interesting. Okay. What opposing try that again. What opposing forces do we need to be aware of? What opposing forces are working against us in the month of December that we need to be aware of? Okay. What guidance do we need to hear in order to help achieve our goals? What guidance do we need to help us achieve? Wow, did y'all see that? Literally like half the deck just flew out of my hands here. What is happening with this energy? Crazy energy. What guidance do we need to help us achieve our goals in December 2023? There we go. A little less dramatic this time. Okay. And the last card is what steps do we need to take in regards to this guidance? It went flying across the room. I'm not even exaggerating. This is a very active deck for some reason. And then the underlying energy, what we have already experienced that is on its way out. Let me hit pause and get this card. Okay, so to begin with, we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and we're asking, what is our energy now? So it's the end of the year. You're kind of looking back over the year. You're kind of taking, account over what has happened, what achievements you have, what successes you had, where you tried things that maybe didn't work out. And so really, this is about looking at our successes, our wins, and also our losses and our fails, and taking what didn't work out and really focusing on what did work. And so this is kind of looking back. It feels like let me shut this window. It sounds like they're doing some work outside. There we go. This is kind of looking back over the year and just looking at our wins, our losses, and really focusing on, hey, what didn't work. What is a lesson I was meant to learn from this? Incorporating that lesson, but also looking at our wins and being like, how come that worked? And really focusing on what needs to be nurtured more and given more care and attention to have a successful 2023. Okay, so what do I need to keep in mind that is expected to go this month? The Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So this is very good. If you're having some financial insecurity, if you're a little worried about bills, if you're a little worried about how you're going to pay the bills, or if you're worried about how you're going to create finances for a long-term stable future, all this energy is on its way out. It feels like there's going to be a lot more stability when it comes to finances, especially long-term growth and worrisome patterns. And honestly, a lot of times when the Queen of Pentacles shows up, this is actually deep-seated beliefs that we've had for a very long time, that we're finally understanding that we are holding on to these beliefs, and these beliefs are literally the things that are blocking us from long-term growth, long-term expansion, things like that. So this is just really kind of a moment where if you have any internal subconscious blocks that are really causing the drama, that are really causing you from being able to move forward with the future that you want, this is the month when you're really going to maybe even become aware of those, so that you can work through those shadows and release those blockages so you can move forward. Okay, so what opposing forces, this tickles me actually, what opposing forces do you need to be made aware of? The Ten of Cups. Now, this is not what we would call a typical card in this position by any means. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull some clarifiers because I hear a few different things that could mean, and I just want to see which one it is. Please clarify, why is the Ten of Cups here about the opposing forces that we need to be made aware of this month? We have clarifying, interesting, the Two of Swords in reverse, and the Tower. And so these are about the things that we don't see coming, that kind of flip our world upside down. And so the opposing forces, this is, it feels like maybe against your future plans, okay? Because Ten of Cups is about, the happily ever after, the dreams come true, and really focusing on putting our love, our energy, and our flow, and just making that forever come true, okay? And so it feels like there's opposing forces against your, and honestly, with Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups both being here, this is about your future plans and where you're headed, and the stability of those future plans. And so it feels like the energy, and honestly, this really does go right back to the beginning card, the Seven of Pentacles. The energy here is about you really getting clear on the choices that you are making that are impacting you, and not just in the here and now, but in the long term. Okay, this is about, you know, not just looking at the forest, but I'm sorry, not just looking at the trees, but seeing the whole entire forest, getting, you know, that higher perspective so you can see everything, not just one or two trees in front of you, but all the acreage is full of, you know, the trees. So this is really, it feels like there's opposing forces maybe working against what you're really wanting, the future that you're really focused on and that you're really trying to manifest right now, because it feels like there's going to be a moment this month where you're going to have kind of a wake-up call. You're going to see how you maybe are getting in your own way. Okay. The most interesting thing about these two cards is, to me, especially with the Seven of Pentacles being here in reverse as our, you know, as the energy that you're coming into the month with, is this really reads more like you're unaware of. There's a few lessons yet to be learned, okay, this year, where you haven't seen, where some of the things that you wanted to succeed at that weren't successful, you haven't seen your contribution to that lack of success. And I think that that's going to become very clear. And also, I think that what you're going to understand is how you've been getting in your own way. And it's going to be kind of like a aha. It's going to become very clear to you that the thing that's blocking you from your future success and everything that you want is you. And you're going to finally see, and it's going to become very clear to you how you're getting in your own way, where you've been making choices that are maybe not in your best and highest good, and how you can make better choices. Okay, so I think that this is going to be really a month where we have kind of that 2020 vision, where hindsight, we're able to look back and see, okay, here's where I got my own way. And this is even one of those moments where it's not just where you made choices and did things that got in your own way, but it's where your own fears blocked you as well, and how you let your fears get ahead of you, and how you chose, you know, the interesting thing is about fears is that we choose behaviors based on our fears to protect ourselves. But what's funny is those fears is what's literally keeping us from our greatest success. And so I think that's a lot of what this is you're going to get very clear on where you have not seen that. I don't know why this deck is so energetic today. I mean, it's flying across the deck room. It's dropping to the floor. It's spilling everywhere. My gosh. But you're going to get really clear on where you've energetically blocked yourself and how that is actually not a problem. It's a non-problem. Like, you're going to get the solution. I think you're going to see what you should do. Now, whether you take that opportunity, whether you run with it, that will be a whole nother thing. But it's going to become very clear how you're blocking yourself, and that you are the actual opposing force that you need to be aware of. Okay. What guidance do you need in order to achieve your goals? Seven of Cups. It's time to start looking at the choices we make, and not allow ourselves to be overwhelmed by the fact that we have to make choices. This is life, and you're going to make choices all day, every day for the rest of your life. So be okay with that. All right. Sometimes it can feel very overwhelming, especially when we're making choices that involve others and of others' life, health, well-being, and safety. Okay, I understand that, and feeling overwhelmed that, but just the day in, day out life, getting through it, making choices, you're going to have to be a little bit more comfortable in your own skin, making choices and standing by them. Okay, that's the first thing. And the other thing about achieving your goals, you need to start looking at the choices that you're making and asking yourself, is this my best and highest good? Because this is what this really comes down to. The seeds that you planted earlier this year, some didn't work out because you hadn't made choices that were in your best and highest good. You weren't looking at the long-term path and whether this was a stable choice or whether it was sustainable even. And so now you're finally able to see how your dreams, why they didn't come true, the ones that you tried, the things that you tried to manifest this year that didn't reach you, that's going to become very clear, and it's going to become very clear that it's all down to the choices that you're making, okay? So this has a lot to do with looking at your choices and really slowing down, okay? Cups, it's much more flowy, not speeding energy. It's slower energy, and this is about allowing yourself to go with the flow and make choices at a pace that is recognized, that you can recognize as, yes, I am sure this is what my best and highest good wants for me, okay? So the last card, well, almost last card, what steps do you need to take in regards to this guidance? This is a very interesting card because it's 7 cups with the 4 of cups here. So in order to make better choices, you have to know thyself, okay? And so this is about kind of stepping outside of spending the month of December really focusing on you, okay? And really, at the end of the day, that's what all of this says. This is about focusing on yourself and your wins, your losses, how you got yourself out of alignment, and how you can get yourself better into alignment with the choices that you're making, and not allowing yourself to feel so overwhelmed, trusting yourself, getting in alignment with your higher self so that you can trust yourself, okay? And this is really, truly the guidance is focus on you right now, okay? This is about doing the work over the month of December, focusing on you. You know, like I said, it feels like some of you may be even going into new modalities, working with your ancestors, light in the darkness, golden gift, into the woods, acorns, invitation, you know, making that connection, have this new experience that might feel a little bit uncertain, but asking for this magical help, you know? So really focusing on, you know, bringing in this magical help for yourself, perhaps, and asking your angels, ancestors, guardians, guides, saints, ascended masters, sacred ones, source, whatever, whoever, you know, or even, look, not to throw a shout out or plug in here, but literally I do spell work. So if you don't know what to do and you need some help, ToniSummers.com, find me, I'll help you with some spell work. But regardless, this is about really looking at and getting clear on the fact that this year, any wins you had were because of you, and any losses you had were because of you, and taking radical responsibility and accountability, and then understanding how your choices impacted you and how you can make different choices that will be better in alignment with what you want this next year in 2023, okay? So December feels like it's going to be very much a month of hindsight, because here is what is in the past. This is the underneath card, so this is what's already happened, the 9 of Pentacles. There's definitely what you reap what you sow, and this year you haven't been reaping exactly what you want, okay? You haven't gotten everything you put your effort and energy into, and you don't understand why. So that's what this month is going to be about. It's going to give you the opportunity to look at the seeds that you planted, to understand how you got in your own way, and how you can, you know, how you can better, you can see to make better choices. It's going to be I feel like a very illuminating month, because I feel like you're like, but none of this is my fault, or, you know, I gave my 110% and all that, but at the end of the day, I think that you're going to realize, no, you didn't. You are reaping what you sow. So what did you sow? All right, loved ones, it has been an honor and a joy to be here with you. I hope you will come back. Like I said, we'll have the weekly readings coming up. Actually, I'll be dropping one right after this for the first week of December, but I hope to see you. And also be on the lookout if you're interested. We do have the Talking to the Dead reading coming up. I'm going to probably do that one a little bit closer to Christmas. So I hope that you'll stick around and come back and get some, speaking of, messages from your ancestors. So hopefully you'll come back and get those messages in a few weeks. But until I see you again, lots of love. I hope that you enjoy this beautiful holiday season, and I look forward to seeing you all in 2023. Bye.